you've been doing this for over 3 decades, right? In retrospect, now at this point in your life, how bad was the initial Bad Boy deal for the Locks? Because I hear you keep talking about getting out the deal, but I've
It
never
was a
heard you.
standard deal. I mean, that's what most people don't know. We didn't have anything different from the standard artists at the time. We was just from a different place. No one was on, and we did math different. Like all of us were pretty. If you sell drugs and you know you sell 10 dimes, you made $100, and then you look at a record deal and you're like, all right, the album sold for how much? But I get how much off of it? It just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to us. And then ego and pride with not making sense and all that was going on, big passing, all of that kind of played a part in everything that happened. But in retrospect, it was a standard deal, but all deals are meant to be renegotiated. We renegotiated in a kind of harder way than usual. And most people don't know how to go about things because they don't have power or they don't have enough money. We figured a loophole.
Do you remember the numbers of the initial deal in regards to the percentages? How it broke down?
No, I just know that off of an album you wasn't getting $10 or not even $5, not even $3. So it didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? You're telling me we getting a dollar something off an album or $2 or whatever it was. I'm not sure the correct number, but it wasn't like it was 5. It wasn't like it was 6, 7, and so it didn't add up to me.
I'm still hearing stories from young artists signing terrible deals, and I just question because there's so much information there. There's so many interviews with veteran artists. Why do you think young artists are still signing terrible deals?
Because what are they gonna do? Not sign the deal? It's really simple. Like, you're gonna sign a deal or you're not gonna sign a deal, and then take your shot or not take your shot. Things have changed now, and a lot of artists are independent and doing their own thing, and there's different avenues. But like the time we came up, we would have been fucking idiots to not sign a deal. You take the deal, you do what you got to do, and you move on, and you make the best of it. But it's almost like even starting at almost any job. Everyone doesn't start at a high level. Like, what do police make a year? We were still making more than a policeman, a fireman, an ambulance, the average typical citizen a year. So do you not do that and just say, nah, it's not good enough, and then wait for another window of opportunity to come when you may have seen 20 windows of opportunities already? Now that bad deal's there, but you have a chance to get in front of things, you're going to take the bad deal. You're going to take the bad deal. It's like the dude who knows he needs to eat. It's like the average human being, you really want to think about it, at work, who doesn't have a fucking great job. Like, you gonna go, nah, I ain't working this stop. I ain't doing this cash register. Nah, you gonna go outside then and you have to get that money. So it's like the average job is not a great job in this country, right? But people work it because you have to say, all right, maybe I'll start on Friday, but maybe I'll be the manager one day. Same aspect.
Also, I'm hearing mixed message in regards to the industry, in regards to money made prior to streaming and money made now during streaming, right? As a person who has lived through the whole thing, what is your view?
I think it's on a person and how you figure how to work the game. On the stream thing is, I forgot how much streams make one album sell, but it's a lot. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's I forgot how many streams it takes to make an album sell, but it ain't a small number. It's not a small number. So it's really, and nowadays being an artist is more than just selling your music. It's the other avenues you could take. Yeah, 1,500 streams equals one album sale. That's a lot of streaming. But also the technology of Instagram and Twitter and all of these things weren't out when we were first starting. So it all depends on what you're doing, how you do, but what I view about it, kids are making more money than they did back then. So obviously it is money. Is there as much ownership? I don't know that. There also wasn't 360 deals back then. So it's a kind of topsy-turvy into, I guess, who the artist is and how they go about doing their business. But I would say there's more money, but there's also more bullshit. And there's also less people who care. So it's kind of, there's no artist development. They shoot them out like microwaves now. They just pop it. It's like they popping rappers in the microwave and letting them out, not developing them. They make a ton of money. They don't know what the fuck to do. Some of them are here tomorrow. Some of them are not.
If I make a song at my house, right, I'm booked to perform, but I know nothing about the craft. I know nothing.
Yeah.
And do you think that's kind of a strain on the industry and it's unfair to everyone in there?
Yeah, but most of the consumers are artists now too. When you think about it, like there's more artists than there's ever been. Like it's different genres. It's like I was on the phone and the guy was telling me, yeah, this TikTok sensation, not like a rapper or this, like he's like a TikTok rapper, a YouTube rapper, an NFT rapper. Like now there's so many different categories to fit in, and there's so many consumers are actually like artists now. So the average consumer, you think about it right now, like from when Bounty Killer and people like me, how long we've been doing it, and how long we came in the game. The people who were buying our music wasn't checking their phones to see how many people are following them on their app. So that makes the average person, like, we could go now and you'll go to a YouTube sensation person or a reality TV person or a social media person, and you'll see actors, ball players, rappers, everyone following them. So the standard of what an artist is totally different from what it was back then. So, and even how artists live, like people, our phone device and all of this also leads in more into our artist's life. So now they don't even just care about your music. I have people who don't know shit about my music. They just go, he says crazy shit on Instagram, or he's really healthy, or he speaks his mind, and they don't know shit about my catalog. They may know a few songs, but they have no idea who I am as an artist. They just know me as an entity and a brand and other aspects of the entity and the brand other than music. So the playing field is much, much different than it's ever been. Like totally different. We in totally different times. Like yeah, if a kid does make a music at his house, right, and he hasn't been in that studio, what the fuck does he know about the craft? He may know how to be music. He may be talented. He could be talented. He could be a natural. He could be great. But now he's not learning the craft. So how does he appreciate something that he's not learning? Which why many artists don't look up to artists that's older than them. But how smart is that? Because now when you get older, it's like they're not even thinking they're going to get older. That's how much in a box they open the world up and put people in a box at the same time. It's like social media gives people blinders as to say, okay, all right, I'm doing this, but am I doing that? I'm doing this, but am I doing that? And that kind of changes the whole landscape of music, period.
And there's another aspect to add to the conversation in regards to when you get this quick attention through social media, you don't have enough skills for a follow-up.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's bad for music in a sense, because now it's just a revolving door of just random people doing random things.
Definitely. That's what I said. They microwave them. Now it's like pop, pop, pop. Like it was like when we came up, people stuck with their favorite artists and stuck to them. Like really followed them, really was like waiting on them and did shit like that. Now it's like you have to overfeed. You have to overfeed because of these devices we have. It's like content has to constantly come out for you to stay in somebody's eyes. So they changed the landscape of how this thing works. So it's more so on you being comfortable and working it the way you want to work it and just have your own shit in mind of what you want to do, how you're going to do it, the way you want to do it, when you're going to do it, and why you're going to do it.
And live concerts as an artist, right? You're coming from concerts with no camera, maybe a disposable camera.
Yeah.
To now where people, all right, listen, I have seen concerts where people are taping themselves and not the performer.
Yeah.
So as an artist, has the energy changed at concerts, or is it still the same energy, or you go certain places?
Well, you got to control the energy. This is where it's being mindful of the energy you have. Like, you can't control it all, but for the most part, when you go and you hit that stage with a certain mind frame and a certain energy, you tuning all of that out. And if you're able to tune it out to a certain point and tap in, and they're going to tap in and zone out with you, they're going to still have their camera, but it's going to be now part of the thing. It's all depends on how you control the energy. I think this is what part of artist development is. A lot of artists don't understand that, all right, it's showtime. I'm the center of the energy. Like, you're looking literally out at hundreds of thousands of people. You're on a platform looking out and they're looking in. You have to find a way to understand what you're dealing with and what's going on in the energy. And so it's more so like, once you have that concept and you have confidence, it works.